version to any of the charisms that are different?
That's a great question. A couple things that can be going on there. Yes, it does happen sometimes. I think one of the big things is like what you associate it with and what you imagine that it has to be like. So actually, interestingly enough, just recently worked with someone with writing where she was having the same response. And she's like, I don't want to write a book. I don't want to write a blog. Like all this stuff seems not interesting to me. And I was like, okay, well, what are all of the things that are written? Let's just make a list of like written materials. And we got to, after a long time, finally got to like letters. And that was the thing. She was just like, oh, I could just like write letters. That's like my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I was like, that's probably what it is then. Like, we don't have to be in this one, sector of what it is to have a certain thing. There can be so many unique individual expressions, and then also the way it combines with other ones. So she had writing and encouragement. And I was like, what if you were just supposed to write an encouraging letter to someone that you know every day for the rest of your life? And she's like, that sounds so great. And I was like, probably what it is, yeah. And so I have writing also, and that sounds horrible to me. Like I to think of what to say in that situation is just not where it lives for me. So that's one thing, is it can be like our perception of what that has to mean, what we're making it mean, and to examine that and to, in a time of prayer, obviously all these time of prayer things I make ideally in adoration is great if you can do it there, but to just ask the Lord, like, what is it that I'm not thinking of? Like, what is it that you'd like me to imagine for what this could look like? This happens a lot with leadership too. People are just like, oh, I don't want to like be in charge of a big organization, and then you kind of suss out what it actually is in their life, and it's actually just perfectly within the scope. And then also, when you actually do the thing, there can be things that we have an aversion to that are actually good for us. So if you maybe played sports as a young person and you really enjoyed the activity and the exercise and stuff like that, maybe when you're older, you're like, oh, that sounds really exhausting, I don't want to do that. But then when you actually go do it, you're like, that was actually great, that actually was so nice to get moving again and feel it. So then that's another element of just like, is it the idea of doing it that's really like, that's so much, where would I start, etc. And then when you actually do it, are you experiencing the fruits of the Holy Spirit? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, in discernment, we're looking for the fruits of the Holy Spirit in you, and we're looking for effectiveness for other people. So typically, if someone were to go through a discernment process and at the end of it, they're like, I still hate it, this is the worst, like I have no interest in doing this, that's probably not your charism. Like that's what came out of your discernment process, and like everything, we always are just like, correct me if I'm wrong, Holy Spirit, but like this is what I've gotten from that. So I'm not saying that like you definitely have it and you just have to get out of the way, but those are kind of the things that might be going on there. Great question. Yes?
So if you have a charism for writing and you don't really like it, can you just use ChatGTP and is that kind of close enough?
I know, that sounds like a moral theology question that also might be out of my pay grade where we're at with that. I think that whatever you're drawn towards, there's going to be tools that can help and things like that, but it really depends on coming in alignment with the right expression of your charism is going to be something you want to do. And that's, if it's something where you find yourself like wanting to take shortcuts and things like that, then it's like, this probably isn't the work of right now.
So if you also have a charism for AI, for example.
Yeah. Well, it's like, the technology can come into things. I absolutely love technology. I do a lot of software development. I built the software that runs this whole organization. And that very much comes out of like a function of the leadership for me, but it can be different things for different people, for sure. Okay, I'm going to take your question. Is it more about charisms or is it about identity? Okay, okay, we're going to come back to, because actually, where's Juliet? What? Yes, yeah. We're going to take a break. I just reiterate that this identity quotient is on your assessment to be able to kind of see where you're at with those things. And then we're going to take a break for you to be able to use the bathroom, get up and have water, have some of the food that's here. And we're coming back at, what time, Juliet?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. So it's 10:37. I run a very tight shift. So we will start at 10:47. And I will start even if you're not in your seat. So I will see you then.
I like that.
So I self-taught because I've known
Good idea.